we're tracking the risk for severe thunderstorms as we go throughout your day on Thursday. The Storm Prediction Center for late tonight, early tomorrow morning, they do have a marginal risk in place from roughly Evansville to Madisonville, Kentucky, and points off to the west. Now the main threat here will be for that wind and hail with a weakening line of thunderstorms moving to the east across the area late tonight, and especially around the daybreak hours on Thursday morning. And now we'll have to watch that shower activity closely as we go through the morning hours, because that will have an impact on what happens as we go through the afternoon hours. The Storm Prediction Center has that enhanced threat for basically the entire area on Thursday. Now parts of Richland and Wayne counties and northern counties in Illinois, technically you guys are still under that slight risk for severe thunderstorms, and parts of Knox County, but overall the rest of us, we're all included in this enhanced risk. And we have a moderate risk just south of us, portions of southern western Kentucky under that moderate risk for severe weather. And of course we'll be watching to see whether or not that does get pushed any further to the north as we go through today on Thursday. So what we're watching out for are for a couple rounds of storms. The first round will come in late tonight and early tomorrow morning. This will have potential for some wind and hail, especially over the western half of the area. And this we'll have to watch things closely, because depending on if this activity kind of lingers over the area tomorrow morning, that will help to limit the surface instability, the surface heating, that energy for those storms to refire in the afternoon. Now, even if the clouds hold and we have some lingering showers, that doesn't mean we won't have an additional severe weather threat. But what that will do, it will act to lower the potential for more widespread severe weather. So that would kind of be a saving grace. But if we can break out of this like we think we will and have a little partial clearing around midday, that will help to increase that surface instability. It won't take much to really heat things up and help our atmosphere recover to be able to produce buoyant atmosphere for additional severe thunderstorms during the afternoon hours and into the early evening hours. And that would be our better chance across the entire area for severe weather, would be tomorrow afternoon into the early evening round of storms. So we're watching for all modes of severe weather, large hail, damaging winds, and isolated tornadoes. The tornado threat will be especially true with the discrete thunderstorms that we have. The more individual cells, instead of a solid line of storms, you get those cells that are more isolated in nature. That's where you have to watch for that rotation and that potential for a tornado to come out of that thunderstorm. So that's just something to keep in mind as we go through the day on Thursday. So a lot of question marks, as you can see, depending on what happens tomorrow morning. That will have a direct effect on what we're going to see later on tomorrow. So this is a fluid forecast. That's why we always stress, to check back, because nothing's ever set in stone. Weather, that's just the way weather is, especially on severe weather events. So much is dictated by, usually we get these couple rounds of storms, and what happens with the first round, that has a direct impact on what happens with the second round of storms. So that's why we want you to stay tuned, and we will certainly be keeping you updated. But I want to show you the short-range models and what they are showing to give you an idea of how this event will progress across our tri-state area. So late tonight, we're watching that line of thunderstorms to our west. It's going to be a pretty potent line out across Missouri down to Arkansas this evening. Now it's going to start moving out of its environment in a sense that it's going to start losing its punch the further east it goes. So as we go through, I would say about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, that will be when it's entering our western zones around 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 a.m. However, in Evansville, I think it's going to be more around 7 o'clock to 8 or 9 in the morning when this is all kind of pushing through. But again, it's going to be in a weakening form. But it's something we'll have to watch, just how quickly this line starts to weaken. And the short-range models are still struggling with this somewhat, so that's why we will be keeping an eye on these new model runs as they come in throughout the evening. And of course, we will let you know of any changes in this forecast. But we're watching that activity early tomorrow morning. And then as we go through late morning into early afternoon, that will be our time frame where the atmosphere will try its best to recover. So we'll have the break in the precipitation. And obviously, if we can get some breaks in that cloud cover, just a little bit of sunshine is all it takes to really help to kind of heat up the ground and the surface and help to build up the atmosphere for those additional severe thunderstorms in the afternoon. So we're watching, it looks like the models are pretty quickly firing up additional thunderstorms as early as 2 to 3 in the afternoon, quickly just developing over the area. And additional showers and thunderstorms will just continue from mid-afternoon throughout the early evening hours. I would say after 8 to 9 o'clock, it'll be moving out of our eastern zones, and beyond that, our severe threat will come to an end. So potentially 2 rounds of storms with the greater likelihood of more widespread issues as far as severe weather will be tomorrow afternoon into the early evening hours tomorrow evening. So we want you to stay tuned to this forecast. Of course, we are watching it. Believe me, we are all watching this very closely as new data continues to come in. And of course, with this being such a fluid forecast, with question marks surrounding, just how the specifics will play out, you want to just keep it to our page throughout the day tomorrow to see exactly what we are expecting as we go throughout this weather event. So of course, it's always good to prepare yourself and make sure you and your family, your loved ones, have your plan in place. That's the whole reason why we do the severe weather awareness that we had a couple weeks ago. It's to keep you guys safe. We want you guys to make sure you have that plan in place. If you don't, I would recommend this evening just going over with your family, saying, okay, if a tornado warning is issued, this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going to go, and have maybe a preparation kit, not necessarily just for this event, but the kit that you can have just prepared, so whenever severe weather is in your area, you know exactly when or you know exactly where to get it, and of course where to go to seek shelter. So we want you all to stay safe and stay tuned to our page for the very latest. We are going to be keeping you guys updated. And have a great rest of your evening, everyone. And let us know if you have any questions for your area as well. Of course, you comment, and we are always happy to help you plan out your day with the severe weather event.